My Lord, for example, if I can show this from 34B, my Lord, like this one, this is an authentic one. It has the anti-copying feature. It has a barcode. This barcode will show which constituency this particular form related to. There are some, when you use a bar reading device, instead of showing a constituency in Kenya, it shows some place in France.
You want the entire, is it 40,883 they were? Forms 34A, if my correction is right.
Yes, yes.
Yes. So you want them produced so that?
We want them produced because what the Electoral Commission delivered within 48 hours are not genuine Form 34As.
So what do you want? You want the originals?
We want the original ones so that the return to the elections, looking at those forms, the court would be able to determine whether what has been brought to court were indeed the Form 34As, authentic and with all the security features, and even more importantly, the Form 34Bs that were delivered to the Electoral Commission. And my Lord, in the application and looking at the affidavits, you'd find what we have disclosed as the problem with these forms that were delivered to court. They are not the authentic forms prescribed under the law, or they do not conform with the first and second respondents' security features, which again we are referred to in the application.
You don't have any particular forms you have flagged out? You want the examination of the entire lot?
We have flagged them all out. Like we have actually done an exposition of all the Form 34B and shown in every respect what's wrong with the forms that were delivered.
So those are the ones you want?
The 34B, 290 of them.
Yeah.
And the Form 34A, 40,833, I think, which are in the custody of the Commission. They were able to produce them to court because they had them in their possession. But our case is that what they deposited in court are not the forms that were actually used during the election process.
Yes.
Because examining them, they are not genuine documents, even from the photocopies.
On your own estimation, Mr. Orengo, how long will it take to examine those documents?
For example, for Form 290, my Lord, from 34B, if I'm given 30 minutes, I'll be able to tell you right from the outset. In fact, my Lord, one of the things that the Commission did when they gave us their forms, 34B, the one on top had the security features which, when you photocopy it, it shows the reading anti-copying. But the subsequent ones, when they were photocopied, some of them did not have that feature in them, which meant the originals did not have those anti-copying security features. And my Lord, I can go on and on from 2090. Even the name of the candidates, there are some forms where the name of Raila Odinga is Raila Amolo Odinga. Some Odinga Raila. Uhuru Kenyatta, sometimes the name is Kenyatta Uhuru. They were used interchangeably. And some you find not only the names, but even the name of the political party. It's an entire mess, my Lord. If you could look at these forms, you'd find that this election actually was not conducted in accordance with the rules and the regulations. And my Lord, the importance of these forms, they are the instruments by which at the polling station, the decision to declare the person who won or lost at the polling station are contained in those forms.
You've said forms 34A, you will take approximately 30 minutes to examine.
1 hour. 1 hour. 1 hour.
34B, sorry, 34B.
Yes.
34B, you have said you
1 hour. And in fact, if I had assistance, it's an exercise that we have undertaken. If with the assistance.
now you are moving to 1 hour from 30 minutes.
No, I'm saying, even those 30 minutes will be quite appropriate and enough to expose this fraud, my lord.
Yeah.
And, looking at it even with an empty eye without using the devices for reading these forms, like there are cases where you find
And that 34A,
34A, that I'll need about 2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah, so that's 3 hours.
What is the format of examination are you having in mind?
My lord, for example, if I can show this form 34B, my lord, like this one, this is an authentic one. It has the anti-copying feature. It has a barcode. This barcode will show which constituency this particular form related to. There are some, when you use a bar reading device, instead of showing a constituency in Kenya, it shows some place in France, for example, or some institution, which is not the Electoral Commission. Then, my lord, at the bottom, there's supposed to be a record of the names of the candidates and the votes that they received.
Okay.
In many, you do not find that in those forms they have a record of the number of votes found by a candidate.
Okay. Okay, very well. Let's see the other side.
My lord,
Mr. Orengo, that is not the only prayer you're seeking.
yes,
So you've spoken about 34A and 34B.
yes.
What about the KIMS kit? How much time would you require to do what you want to do with that kit? In
Yes.
terms of your estimation?
My lord, the KIMS kit, in fact, we were talking to some experts who said that since it is just an access to know what transaction took place on polling day and the transmission of the results,
Because of time, just say 1 hour, 30 minutes, 20 minutes.
a day.
That is 12 hours, 24 hours?
I think more on the side of 18 hours. It will not go beyond
That's how, well,
24
okay.
hours.
So 18 hours. What about the servers, the login trails of users? How much time would that take you?
I think together it will be those 18
The
hours.
entire technological structure
yes.
and architecture would take,
That 18 hours will be enough.
in your estimation?
Yeah, in our estimation. Because you have to render a decision anyway within, the next 4 or 5 days.
What about the saffron identity and security things? Would that be a separate thing or it would be the same?
My lord, the SAFRAMs were the providers.
But you want access to personnel and their technology. How much time would you require for that? This is important.
My lord, I would say about 2 days. Yes.
Then the CJ asked you, and you sort of meandered away from it, in terms of the logistics of this, in terms of personnel, is it the court, is it yourselves, is it who?
My lord, it can be court supervised, but the way we don't want to see the physical servers is only access to that information, which then will be possible without necessarily, bringing the servers in court. So long as we have the access to it, we'll be able to see all those transactions, including what was transmitted and at what time on polling day. We are just talking about essentially what happened on polling day.
So you're asking
because the printouts, that would be a manual exhibition of what is contained in the servers.
Yeah.
But once you have access to it, then you'd be able to see what is contained in the server, restricted to the days which are applicable in terms of this election.
So you actually want to have the servers themselves and look into them, isn't it?
No, not we are talking about access. My lords, if you look at the regulations, they actually say these are matters which the Commission should be able to allow those who want to seek information to have access to. And those are contained in the parts dealing with requests for information and access to source codes.
So you want them opened so that you can be able to access?
Yes.
Okay.
Just one last question. Prayer number 11 of the application. You're seeking time to file further affidavits or supplementary affidavits in regard to this process.
My lord, the affidavits that we were seeking, which are already part of this application, but we are seeking that those affidavits should be allowed or admitted for purposes of the petition.
The affidavits that Mr. Manzur contests.
Referring to.
So that
They are properly in place for the application.
Understand
Yes,
now.
yes.
What about, you've done this access to information. You've received whatever information you're receiving. How does it come back to the court? By way of what?
I didn't get that, my lord.
You are going to get some information from,
Yes.
if say the orders are granted.
Yes.
You're going to get that information to yourselves. How does that information come back to the court?
My lord, we come back to court with that information.
How? A report, an affidavit?
We can download the information that is contained in the data storage of the server. We can come back with that information.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Because in the data, even the register, you would get to know what names are there, the voters, and those who voted. All that is in the contained in the data storage system, which is part of the server. My lord, could I have 2 minutes for Ms. Otiende just to add something I may have?
Mr. Orengo,
Yes.
please tell us how this exercise is going to be undertaken and by whom.
My lord, that exercise can be undertaken under the supervision of the court, or it may be by way of the Electoral Commission giving access and giving confirmation whether what we come to court with by way of a report is actually information coming from their systems. Or the court can appoint the registrar together with the parties once that access is given, and that the information that would come after that access is given is brought to the court, a joint report, and if there are any objections or contrary opinion, they can be part of the report. Indeed, in 2013, this court undertook a similar inspection, although that was a manual one, and a report was brought by the registrar to this court. And I think, since technology is central to these elections, this is not an exercise that, my lord, would take unnecessarily a long time if the elections was a manual election, where all the functions of the elections were manual. Once that access is given, my lord, it could be even faster than the time frames I've given.